Hey y'all, it's your girl Mara F. Baby. Please say the baby. Welcome back to another episode of Samara Says.
What we do here is go back.
Hey y'all, how you living? How you feeling? I have my hair down today because, you can't even tell, but the length is lengthening, okay? You see this? The length is lengthening, okay? And I just want to show it off. It ain't done, but it's given. It's given. Today I want to talk about my postpartum period. I'm coming up on a year since I gave birth. And so I kind of want to go over what I went through. I don't want to say tips and tricks, but just what I went through, how I dealt with things I don't recommend people do, and et cetera, et cetera. So I just kind of want to go over that. Like my last video, I talked about how having a baby is ghetto, and I want people who are trying to have a baby, who are having a baby, who are pregnant, whatever, to know your possibilities, right? That's what I'm here for. I'm here to give you the truth, okay? That's what I'm here for. So I'm just gonna give you my experience. And I'm sure some people have, better or worse or whatever, but I just wanna let you know, like, how I made it through, okay? So for me, the first thing that I had to deal with in my postpartum period was an unwanted diet. Now, if you watch my last two videos, you know that I suffered from preeclampsia, high blood pressure, okay? So I had to, coming out of giving birth, I had to watch what I eat, Ambien medication, to try to get my blood pressure down, while also trying to heal. I did have a C-section. So trying to do all of that, while trying to keep my blood pressure down. That also included dealing with people coming over, dealing with a new baby at home and all this stuff. So I had to do all that, but having to deal with an unwanted diet really sucked. So on top of the blood pressure, my daughter early on used to have blood in her stool. And so the first thing pediatricians will tell you if your baby has blood in their stool is to cut out dairy. There's no way to test if they're actually allergic to it. All you have to do is just start taking things out of your diet, because all she was having was the breast milk. So for me, they actually did not say dairy. They'll say cow's milk, anything with cow's milk. My caretaker, which is my mom, considered that everything that falls under dairy, we took no chances. So that included milk, that included eggs, included cheese, anything that we thought fell under dairy, we took out. On top of that, anything considered any type of allergen, we just took it out, okay? Peanuts, strawberry, anything that could be considered an allergen, we had to take out. I was literally eating bird food. That's literally how I felt. Bird food. And my mom would literally prepare me meals and drinks that were very healthy. And then my husband will have a nice, greasy plate of something. How dare he? How dare he? And did he have any concern for me? No. He would laugh. He would say, you can't have this. An unwanted diet stressed me out. I literally got to the point where I was like, if this is how bad that it has to be for me to have to eat like this, I don't even want to produce any more breast milk. I really don't. I really don't. And actually somebody, I won't say who, because I don't want to put them on blast. Somebody actually called me selfish for saying that. Literally said, you are selfish, because I mentioned that I just want to stop pumping if I can't have what I want, that I'm being selfish for my child. And I literally was like, this is my first time ever having a child. I am postpartum. I am free to have my feelings. Like, can I just have my feelings? I didn't say I was gonna stop. I just said, I wish I could stop. So that was one thing. So I had this diet that I'm on, bird food, and then also having to exclusively pump. I mean, whether I was pumping or nursing, the constant milk production of going every 3 hours. And then first couple weeks, baby, I'm talking the wind couldn't blow by my chest without milk just coming out of nowhere. I'm like, golly, what? I can just step out of the shower and wrap my towel around me and milk is like, what? You want some milk? What? Oh my God, it was just, it's like, just so much unwantedness. Like, you wouldn't even know when you were gonna have a letdown. Your booze would just be like, what? Milk? Ain't it time for you to pump? Yeah, we'll just start it for you. That was a lot. It was a lot. Yeah, then for like 10 to 12 weeks, that milk is coming whether you ready or not. The next thing that really hit me, I think when I actually started to think about how I felt postpartum wise, was when I had to go back to work. So I actually started a new job while I was pregnant. And because I started a new job, I wasn't able, or I didn't qualify for full maternity leave at the time that I had given birth. I would only be qualified for maternity leave when I hit my 1 year mark at the job. Okay, I started my job end of February. I gave birth in July, right? So it wouldn't be till the following February that I could take my full 12 weeks of maternity leave. So all I got was medical leave off, and I only got 8 weeks off and had to go back to work. Now, moms that are watching, some will tell you, ain't no way in heck they can go back to work in 8 weeks. Others will tell you there's no way in heck they wanted to leave their baby in 8 weeks. Okay? This girl right here, I was ready to go. I was ready to go to work. Okay? I had been in my house all day and all night for 8 weeks. The only time I stepped out of my house was either for a doctor appointment for me or a doctor appointment for my child. Other than that, I was home. Healing, okay? Really walking up and down my steps, avoiding too much movement. But I was tired of being home. I was tired of always having to deal with either my conditions or the baby. Like, doesn't that sound crazy? That sounds crazy. Because most of the times you hear mommy guilt, people who don't want to go back to work because they're sad they're leaving their child. I know a lot of women that go back to work and are crying because they're detached from their baby. And maybe because I knew my daughter was in good hands, she was with my mom, I had no worry. I was ready to go. I wanted adult interaction. Okay, I needed to feel interaction with people in the outside world. I needed to get fresh air. I just needed to be out. So I was ready to go back to work. Now, that part was great. I didn't factor in having to pump while at work every 3 hours. I was pumping at work because I used to work long hours. I actually would work 4 days a week, 10-hour days, so I could have a day off. And so through a whole, work shift, I was probably pumping at least 3 times. Meaning I had to pump before I went to work. By the time I got to work, maybe within the first 2 hours, I had to pump. So 3 times. Pump as soon as I get home, and probably again before I go to bed. And then wake up in the middle of the night to also pump. And now, you see, I could have skipped a night of pumping, right? Which I did once or twice by accident. But then I would wake up to death. Okay? I'm talking soreness, just everything. Man, I would be at work. If I don't go when I'm supposed to go, the milk is coming whether I want to or not. Okay? I'm telling y'all, I literally will have to do a whole other, maybe a part 2 to this on exclusively the pumping journey. But it took so much of a toll on me having to pump, every 3 hours, like literally getting up out of sleep and going to work, working them long hours, not getting any rest. I literally, a day I was probably sleeping, it felt like I was sleeping like 3 hours a day. And like I said, like the diet and stuff, it got to the point where I did lose a lot of weight because I wasn't sleeping, wasn't getting enough sleep, wasn't eating as much as I used to, and then I'm pumping. So pumping helped me lose weight, which it helps most people. So I'm dealing with that. And then I was so sleep deprived that there was actually a couple of times where I was driving to work and I was falling asleep on the wheel. Going to work. I didn't even have the long day at work yet. Going to work and I was falling asleep on the wheel. It was literally like draining me. And part of me kept thinking, well, am I really selfish if I just stop? Am I really going to be selfish for not continuously producing milk? Mind you, while I'm doing all this, I have a whole freezer stock of milk. I really don't need to be killing myself. My supply was great. My supply was great, but I wanted to keep doing it as much as I could because I wanted to give the best of my child, and I didn't want to be considered selfish. Ultimately, I think for me, I didn't really have postpartum depression. I was never like overly sad. I didn't really have extreme anxiety, or I didn't have really bad thoughts. I was like postpartum over it. I was postpartum, I want to get back to me. I wanted to feel like I had energy again. I wanted my body to go back to what it was so bad. I wanted to get to the part of motherhood where I had the hang of it, where I figured out the balance. And in the beginning, it was really hard trying to figure out the balance of it all, between work and the baby and pumping. It was just hard, really hard. Yeah, I just wanted to do what I was used to. I realized that my freedom was kind of stripped away, kind of. And honestly, my daughter was really a breeze in the beginning. She caused no problems. She's a little terror now, but she was no problems in the beginning. And I'm actually on my approved maternity leave now. Like I said, it kicked in at the end of February this year, and I've spread out my 12 weeks. So I've actually been enjoying my maternity leave, with spending more time with my child without having to be pumping or breastfeeding, and like watching her grow, watching her hit her milestones actually works better for me now than if I had done it in the beginning. I would probably be missing most of her milestones now being at work. So I'm actually grateful that it worked out this way now looking back. But it was a little tough physically. My postpartum wasn't tough on me mentally. It was tough on me physically. My body was like, girl, what is we doing? So with the little things, that I went through, and like I said, it's mainly, for me, it was mainly physical than mental. The one advice I would give to moms, you'll probably hear it: ask for help. Ask for help. Ask for help. Accept help. Now, I'm a person, I do not like asking. I barely like accepting help because I'm very particular about what people are helping me with. And so if you're not doing it the way I want you to do it, then you shouldn't be helping me in the first place. Or if you offer to help me, then you should just do it the way I would do it. You should just know, right? You should just know. No, so, but really, ask for help. Any little bit will help you. I had my cousin come here once, just so I could take a nap. She came and watched the baby. It's great. It helps. I've had family stay with me. I've had my mom, my aunt. I've had my sister come, my brother come. I've had people be with me and help me, which has been great. So definitely ask for help. Now, like me, if you are asking for help or accepting help, be mindful that the help may not look like the traditional way you want it to be, right? If you are laid up and recovering and someone comes over to clean, they may not clean the way you clean. Choose your battles. If someone's coming to cook for you, they may not leave your kitchen the way you leave your kitchen. I don't know. So it's a it's a double-edged sword, really. So just be mindful of that. Until you're able to get yourself together, you'll have some people who help you and say, how do you want me to do this? You'll have other people who just do it the way they do it. And you take the help. I mean, you really can't go, but you need it. You need it. But it helps me be mindful if I'm going to help somebody in the future. I always ask. I mean, that's how I am anyways. I always ask, how do you want me to do it? How do you want me to help you? What can I do for you? So that is one thing to keep in mind. Now, another point I will say, to those people out there who has someone that they know who had a baby in a year or less and is in their postpartum year, do not ask them when and or if they're having another child. Please don't. Do not. It is, at least for me, now I don't know. Another mom, tell me if you feel any different. So I'm just going to speak for me. I find it to be one of the most annoying and somewhat disrespectful thing to be asking me. Because it's just so, if you fully understood what women go through to have a child, why are you asking that? If you fully understood the tiresomeness of raising a child, why would you ask? I've had a lot of comments, whether they be jokes or serious, about hurry up and have another kid, make them close to an age. And don't get me wrong, I used to have that dream of having my kids back to back until I actually got pregnant. until I actually had the baby. Please refer to my last video, the ghetto. So I did not see myself rushing to have another kid. If God grants me the ability to have another child and he grants me the vision that it is time, I will do it. However, if one more person tells me that I need to, that God told me to multiply, I might cuss you out. No, but seriously, I'm grateful that I didn't go to the deep end of the water in my postpartum period. I did actually speak to a therapist when I went back to work, just to be level-headed. And actually, that therapist, I think I was at maybe 5 months-ish, 5 going on 6 months. And I was telling her about I was just so sleep deprived and being back at work and pumping. And she told me, will you feel bad if you're not able to give your daughter breast milk anymore? And I said, no, there's formula. And she said, so I don't know why you're killing yourself still pumping. And it was at that point that I started to wean, up until about 7 months, that I started to wean off and get my life together. And I was like, all right, doing what's right, doing what's best for my daughter doesn't mean that I have to kill myself for it. So I appreciated that I actually spoke to somebody. So I do recommend, if you are deep in your thoughts, if you're feeling physically drained, if you're feeling mentally drained, speak to someone, a professional, not just anybody, because everybody's going to give you their opinions. That ain't got nothing to do with you. Speak to a professional and go with your gut feeling. If there's one thing you gain from being a mother, it's the mother instinct. Go with your gut feeling. You won't be wrong. I guarantee it. Anyways, I appreciate y'all for watching again. I'll continue to drop the little bit of knowledge that I have. A little bit of knowledge that I have, that I'm gaining in these times. So please like, comment. I want to hear y'all opinions. I want to hear y'all questions, concerns, and comments. But also please subscribe. If you know anybody that just had a baby, share this video. If you know anybody that's going to have a baby, share this video. If you know anybody that wants to have a baby, share this video. And subscribe. I thank y'all for watching. I'll see you guys next time. Bye. Samara says.